From the era of Pangeng, the legends and facts of ancient Chinese history began to converge. The Shang dynasty endured for 5 to 6 centuries, with the Yin-Shang phase spanning roughly the later half, about 2.5 centuries, thus earning the scholarly designation Late Shang. Yet, modern archaeology reveals the reverse. He shifted from Xiaoshuangqiao in Zhengzhou to the Yinxu in Anyang. The Yin capital lay northwest of the ancient Yellow River, on the plains at the eastern foot of the Taihang Mountains. The Huan River flowing from the Taihang joins the ancient Yellow River to the east, with Yin straddling its banks. Oracle bones from Yinxu mention Yin written as Yi, a white-collared robe, a phonetic law. More commonly, it was Da Yi Shang. In oracle texts, Da and Tian interchange, also read as Tian Yi Shang, Heavenly City Shang. The Shang called their capital Shang, a name that followed them wherever they roamed. The Huanbei Shang city planned by Pangeng on the Huan River's north bank surpassed the early Shang cities of Zhengzhou and Yanshi in scale. Clearly, Pangeng sought to revive early Shang's golden age. Its history seemed poised to echo that cycle, but Wuting perceived its peril, abandoning the Huanbei Shang city. Used briefly, the city was forsaken as Shang clans pursued independent growth, preserving their small communal structures and tribal traditions. This safeguarded Shang religious culture. The corruption of Panlongcheng and its betrayal of traditional faith by the Zhengzhou court sounded an alarm for Wuting. Its policies stemmed from reflection on early Shang collapse. Even with chariots, a new tool of role, Wuting kept the realm with a manageable, secure scope. Vast domains risked engulfing too many diverse tribes, diluting Shang numbers and inviting peril. Panlongcheng will be explored in a later segment. Though Wuting struck outward, expanding borders, he advanced steadily, avoiding descent leaps like Panlongcheng. Rolling over too many foreign tribes was unnecessary. Ample sacrificial offers for the gods sufficed. His worst conquest appeared with guard human sacrifice rites. Captives viable as laboring slaves was instead offered to appease the gods, sacrificing material gain to sustain Shang culture's vitality, the spiritual pillar securing divine favor. Eventually, the Shang built a new palace district south of the Huan River, where most clan settlements clustered, later famed as Yinxu. The first to shift there in the era of the 22nd king Wuting marked its genesis. Wuting, nephew of Pangeng, followed 2 interim kings, Pangeng's brothers Xiaoxing and Xiaoyi. Thus, the Huanbei Shang city likely spanned only Pangeng, Xiaoxing, and Xiaoyi. Under 50 years, its palace district bore heavy burn marks, suggesting a devastating fire. Wuting deemed the unfinished city ill-fated, abandoned it, erecting a new palace south of the Huan River. Wuting's Yin capital endured about 200 years with mirror renovations, but an unchanged core layout until Shang's end. His reign marked a zenith, celebrated in the Book of Songs with the mysterious bird, and martial Yin. Through relentless campaigns, he expanded Shang's dominance. A legendary ruler, Wuting's youth unfolded under his father Xiaoyi. In 6th year, he ordered Crown Prince Wuting to dwell by the river, studying under Ganpan. He ties with Ganpan, Fu Yue, Fu Hao, and generals Zhi and Wang Sheng weave a siege. 1254 BC, Xiaoyi died and Wuting ascended. Per Shang custom, he mourned 3 years, silent throughout. Tutored by Ganpan in youth, the minister and Xiaoyi, Wuting sought to revive Yin upon taking the throne, but lacked a worthy aid. One night, he dreamed the emperor Di granted him a sage named Yue, ordering officials to stretch and seek this man among the people with treasures. Wuting tasked a ballmaker with preparations. This archer found Yue at Fuyan, laboring on a wall, clad in a coarse cloth, his arms and shoulders hammer-like. Conversing, Wuting confirmed him as heaven sent, appointed Yue as chancellor. Wuting heeded his counsel day and night, learning statecraft. Fu Yue's the charge to Shuo, 3 chapters guided Wuting's role. Fu Hao, his queen, emerged as a famed female commander. Oracle bones reveal Wuting had at least 3 wives, Bi Xin, Bi Wu, and Bi Gui. Bi as a posthumous honor. Bi Xin, known as Fu Hao, his first wife, appears over 200 times in his arrows divinations. When Wuting moved the palace from Huanbei to the Huan River south, he was roughly 20. His chief concern in divinations was the ability of Fu Hao to bear an heir. On a Ding Yu day, a diviner queries, will Fu Hao conceive? The scapula's cracks seemed ominous. The the diviner hesitant, but Wuting read them. Auspicious, she will bear a child. From collection 13925, his choice of Fu Hao stemmed not from oracles but prayer resolve. Definition of formality. Her pregnancies prompted repeated queries. On a Jia Shen day, diviner Wei asked, will Fu Hao's birth be Jia? Wuting interpreted, a Ding day, birth yields a son, a Geng day, equally fortune. Yet 31 days later, on Jia Ying, she bore a daughter. Another time, a son died in miscarriage or labor, prompting Wuting to suspect Bi Ji, his grandmother and wife of 16th King Zu Ding, per records of the Grand Historian Annals of Yin, whose four sons, Yang Jia, Pan Geng, Xiao Xin, and Xiao Yi, ruled in turn. Ancestors, it seems, did not unconditionally bless the Shang. They could curse for myriad reasons, assuaged only by timely offering. Fu Hao aided Wuting greatly, hosting rites like meeting the Youlao. At Yang, she received the Duofu, divining called Fu Hao to meet the Duofu at Yang. Abroad, she gathered gifts for Wuting. Some oracle bones inscribed the Fu Hao enters. Sacrificing to ancestors was a kingly duty Fu Hao shared, hosting rites for heaven, for bears and secret spring, like those for Bi Gui and Duo Bi. Notably, she led Fa sacrifices, beheading victims with axes or halberds, a common human offering. Through surviving oracles made victim counts. In era of Wuting, wars flared often. Fu Hao commanding troops, oracles mark her as vanguard, mastering men from Pang Jia Shen divination. After birthing the son, likely an heir, her stature soared. A true warrior queen, leading campaigns. She fought the Qiang divining, while Yue captured Qiang, called Fu Hao to seize them. She subdued the Tu Fang and Bafang west of Yin in modern Shanxi and Shanxi, and the Shifang eastern Yi in modern Shandong. The other wife of Wuting, Fu Jing, younger than Fu Hao, also led rites and wars, plus managed royal farms, overseeing harvest and praying for bounty. Tasks Fu Hao really touched. Fu Hao died of illness, Wuting sacrificing fervently to ancestors for her health, as Fu Jing bore a child aimed at Fu Hao's decline. Divinations of Wuting merged their fates on the shell. Wuting, a towering figure in Shang history, helmed the peak of Yinshang. His Wuting revival echoing through time, noted in the Bible annals. The Book of Songs sings, the realm spans 1,000 miles, where the people dwell, marking the domain unto the four seas. Wuting shaped Yin's layout and later Shang's borders. Oracle bones all made his reign's length, but the book of documents, no idleness, knows Duke Zhou telling Yin Shang survivors past Zhou founding. Gaozong Wuting ruled 59 years. His age at ascension is unknown. Even at 10, he neared 70. From Pan Geng to Zhou Wang, 12 kings spanned over 200 years. Reign of Wuting claiming nearly a quarter. His stories all made his wives. Without Yin Xu bones and tombs, Fu Hao and Fu Jing would be lost. Yet, son of Fu Hao, Xiao Ji appears in Xi Jin's Huangfu Mi's Annals of Emperors of Kings. At first, Gaozong had a virtuous son, Xiao Ji, whose mother died early. Gaozong, swayed by later wife, exiled him to death, mourned by all. Of Prince Xiaoji, earlier records are silent, but unearthed bones confirm him. In divinations of sons of Wuting, Zugeng and Zujia, they sacrificed to Xiongji by Zujia's son Kengding. This Xiongji became Xiaowang Fuji by the last king Di Yi and Di Xin. Later Shang kings thus honored his princely status and sacrificial rite. Wuting's longevity outlasted most wives and sons. Whether Xiaoji died in exile is improbable, but timing suggests he was son of Fu Hao. The Xiao in Xiaoji lacks in oracle bones, not just for him but all Shang kings perhaps aided later in Qin Han times. In Day of Wuting, the Shang Rising conquest in Guanzhong, invader pressed west, clashing fiercely with native tribes in lands untouched by prayer expansions. There dwelt a Qiang tribe called Zhou, an oracle-born race. Wuting also queried witch forces to Kou Zhou. Kou also read Pu, meaning attack, across 9 divinations, mobilizing the Duozizhu Jimao divination. Yun, divining, ordered the Duozizhu to follow Quanhou to Kouzhou, aiding the king's cause. Quanhou, Yinhou, Chonghou Hu, and eligible names joined, veiled the met in multiple Zi clan. The royal Shang clans are the Qiangzhou tribe. Wuting fought the first from Ji surnamed Zhou of Zhou Wenwang. Through bloody ties he linked them. After crushing the Jiangzhou, Shang seized the Zhouyuan south of Qishan and north of the Wei River. Wuting in fact a noble there, dubbed Zhouhou in oracle tests a Shang-founded fief. Generations later, Shang titled Zhou Wenwang Zhou Fangbo. Bo marked the alien's chiefs. Shang reserved Hou for its own. After death of Wuting, Sang, Zugeng, and Zujia ruled as westward conquest won. The records of the grand historian Annals of Yin notes Zujia fell to debauchery and Yin declined anew, abandoning the Zhou state. Western Qiang natives clashed with Shang evermore, toppling its nascent Guanzhong western outposts. Shang withdrew thence, leaving desolation. Even bronze grew scarce. Yet eastern Guanzhong held firm, where Wuting in fact Chonghou, famed in records of the Guan history and the investiture of the gods, founding Chongguo, a bulwark of westward expansion, toppling the Qiangzhou and establishing a Shangzhou state. After death of Wuting, Shang fief of Zhouyuan faltered. Under Zugeng and Zujia, Shang won. Its Zhouhou beset by natives. Neighboring lords were likely summoned to aid, to no avail, as tribal forces reclaimed the western Guanzhong. By the end of Yinxu, Chongguo thrived. Its bronze industry vast, bolstered by subduing a northern hill tribe. The Ji surnamed Zhou of Zhou Wenwang's grandfather's generation settled in the contested Zhouyuan. This sparked a pivotal turn in ancient Chinese civilization.